So I just came out of the Quibi keynote address, and look, I'll be honest, usually when I come out of a keynote address like that, I'm bored or I'm underwhelmed, and it just wasn't that exciting. But in the case of Quibi, I'm actually pretty excited about it. They have promised to revolutionize the way that we consume video on our phones, and frankly, if they do it right, and it looks like they might be doing it right, they're going to do it. They're going to revolutionize the way that we consume video on our phones. So if you're not familiar at all, I'll give you a little bit of background. Quibi is the brainchild of Jeffrey Katzenberg and Meg Whitman, and they're bringing together content creators that are really upper tier. We're talking about the Steven Spielbergs and Anton Fuquas of the world. They're going to be making content for Quibi. Now, Quibi stands for Quick Bites. So the idea here is it's not only optimized to view on your phone, but it's optimized for your on-the-go lifestyle. So 6 to 10 minutes per episode. And they don't even call them episodes, they call them Quibis because it's a terrible name, but I guess they're trying to be cute, right? So as they said during the keynote, what they're not trying to do is make TV for phones. We already have that with things like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime. You can already watch that on your phone. But whatever you're watching on those was made for your television, right? It's always in landscape mode. It's always for, widescreen, and that's how it's meant to be consumed. But they are making something that is only going to be available on your phone. And it's going to take advantage of both landscape and portrait mode. And not only that, it's going to take advantage of some of the other things that your phone can do as well. For example, Steven Spielberg wants to make something called Spielberg After Dark. The idea here was he wanted to make a scary movie, a scary show, or a scary Quibi, I guess we'd call it. But he said, what if, because your phone knows what time it is and it knows what time the sun sets, what if we made something that was only accessible after dark? So his episodes of that show will only be available after the sun goes down. Kind of an interesting idea. You'll get to decide eventually whether you like that or not. The other thing that they're going to be doing is taking advantage of the gyroscope in your phone. Like I said, it's optimized not only for landscape mode like we're used to with our TVs, but for portrait mode like we're used to with our phones. I'll give you a quick example. They showed a video sponsored by Ring, and so it has to do with the Ring doorbell camera. And it's a short film that follows a girl whose home is being invaded by a strange man. And every time you watch in landscape mode, it looks like a regular show. You're seeing the girl on her couch, walking through the house, whatever, getting scared by the guy. Every time you turn it to portrait mode, it shows what's going on the Ring app. So the Ring doorbell showing the guy kind of kicking the door in and being menacing and all of that stuff. So some really interesting stuff it opens up a whole new avenues of possibility for these content creators. Now, this raised one question for me immediately, which is, what are they going to do about data? Obviously, speed is going to be an issue anytime you're streaming. Latency is going to be an issue. But what about data? Because this is a lot of volume. If we've got a service that I need to have, two simultaneously downloaded videos for, that's going to eat up a lot of data. Well, the answer to that is that all tiers of this service are going to have downloads available. So you can always download whatever content you want when you're on Wi-Fi and then take it on the go. As for what tiers are going to be available, well, that is still a question we did not get answered today. They didn't mention anything about pricing. They did mention that there would be an ad-supported tier and an ad-free tier. But again, I don't know if that ad-supported tier is going to be free or if you'll just have to pay a smaller fee, kind of like Hulu does. I do know that they are partnering with T-Mobile, and so you will be able to bundle Quibi with T-Mobile eventually when it is released. As for what kind of content we're going to see on Quibi, there are 3 tiers of content that are going to be available. It's going to be movies, unscripted shows, and daily essentials is what they're calling it, kind of news, sports, that sort of thing. But on all 3 tiers, everything is going to be 6 to 10 minutes per Quibi. And so for a movie, it's going to come in daily installments. For a TV show, it might just be a 10-minute episode, and you get those released every day. And then the daily essentials is just what it sounds like. So a quick news segment, sports clips, that sort of thing. They're promising 3 hours of content every day between the movies, the TV style shows, and then those daily essentials. Anyway, I wish ultimately that I could describe to you how cool it really was to kind of change what I was watching just based on how I turned my phone. So just based on that alone, I think they really have a shot at doing something very cool, very creative. They're trying to use the phone to its full advantage and not just make it a mobile TV in your pocket. So whether they succeed ultimately is going to be up to me and you later. I guess we'll see. But let me know what you think in the comments below about Quibi, whether you're excited for it, and what other questions you have that I might not have answered in the video yet. Hit those comments, give this video a like. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.